Is it live? Okay, we're live. Great. Hi.
Hello.
Let me come back here. Hi. Hi, everybody. I hope that you can see us and hear us, and we're going to get started pretty soon. I'm just going to wait a little bit for some people to show up. So, how are you doing?
Welcome to our home.
Yes,
Nice
this is my
to
husband,
see
Chris.
you.
If you don't know him, he's in quite a few of my videos, but in case you're not around. So what we're gonna make today is some vegan quesadillas, just an adapted version from my cookbook. If you vegans skip the diet, just eat healthy, you can get it at veganmichele.com/ebook. And we're also gonna make a mango salsa or mango pico de gallo, which is from my free ebook, which if you go to Vegan Michele, you can get it for free when you subscribe to my website. Okay, so I'm still gonna wait a little bit. How's your self-quarantine going? How's your day going? Got Eli upstairs watching some cartoons, and we'll see how long that will hold his attention.
We also have a surprise by the end of this video, so you have to stay till the end.
He's learning how to
He's
sing.
singing, that's good. So we have a surprise for you guys also at the end on what are we gonna make next as our next video, right?
Yep.
I mean, she gotta fix me if I'm wrong, because it might be, just against the plan, so we'll see.
No, it's all good. And otherwise we have, Chris is gonna show you, he's really good at chopping, so he's gonna show you some knife techniques. I actually cut my thumb and my forefinger. I'm obviously not very good at chopping. So he'll show you how to chop quickly with some of this stuff. And yeah, I guess we should just start
Yeah, let's
going.
just start it, I guess.
Okay,
yeah.
so it's 10 a.m. and I feel like it's time to cook quesadillas.
Yeah, right?
If you're somewhere else in the world and it's closer to lunch or nighttime, this is probably more appropriate for you. But if you're here on the west coast of the US, then you can decide to have this for dinner or lunch. And yeah, all right, let's get started. Why don't we do the salsa first, because I feel like it tastes a little bit better if you marinate it. So I've got all the salsa ingredients here. Let me just show you what is in there. Again, this is gonna be kind of version of substitution. So what it calls for is half a cup of fresh mango. I don't have that. So I cut up some what's it called? Frozen is the word. Frozen mango, and I just chopped it up. I've got a half a cup of that. About a quarter cup of red onion. He's gonna show you how to chop that well. 1 garlic clove. Jalapeno is completely optional. I like it because I like spicy, but you don't have to put that in. 1 tomato. Aroma tomato is a good size. This is not aroma tomato. It's a tomato, like an on-the-vine tomato, and that'll work. And then we've got some cilantro in here, about a half a cup of cilantro. 3 tablespoons of lime juice, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. It's really just salt to taste. Something that I don't have that you could put in here would be some fresh corn, or even if you have frozen corn on the cob, you could, you probably don't have frozen corn on the cob, but you probably have frozen corn pieces. You could put that in there too.
Yeah, we don't want to go to the store too many times,
Yeah.
I'm saying, especially now, so we try and stay home as much as possible. So anyway.
Yeah, so we got that. Why don't you show them some chopping
Okay, so
techniques?
So let's go into it. So basically, I'm gonna actually come to you guys just a little bit quicker. So you want to use your knuckles as your guidance. So if you have 3 fingers, you're using the middle one, and then you're basically chopping on top of it. And you want to use a pressure on this. So when you chop, you're moving your fingers with the thing. There are some techniques that teaches to move the foot and then you chop. So you go like this, but I feel like this is much better. So this is basically your guide, and you are making sure that you obviously don't pass it, and then you slice it, right? So let me just show you I don't know. The mushrooms are the easiest to show. Can I start with mushrooms?
Sure, the mushrooms are actually for the quesadillas, so we can start with the quesadillas.
Or I can start it with the garlic.
Okay, do that.
So you have the garlic right here, and I'm gonna go slow. So you just basically, you can go just like that, and then I don't know if you can see it, my knuckle is actually guiding the chop, and then when you go faster, you can just go.
That scares me. I feel like I'm gonna chop my finger off.
Much quicker, much faster. So, and then this needs to be diced,
yeah,
right?
diced.
So then you can use both of the fingers, and then you just go like this, right? I mean,
That's my style.
That's totally like Michelle's style, and I think that's the style of a lot of people in home, because they just like, I don't know how to chop it. And you know what?
I just feel like you have more control the other end. It's not professional looking.
There's no like a technique to this chew. You can just do so many ways. I watched a lot of videos to do it,
put it in that,
and I found
bowl.
in a clear bowl. Okay. And I found this to be the easiest way. But however, when you want to chop in slices, then you definitely want to use those knuckles to do so. What else?
Can you do the onion?
Onion,
Maybe
sure.
the onion would be easy to
Yeah.
show.
So yeah, this is a little bit bigger. So that's exactly the same thing. 1, 2. You know what I'm saying? And then your knuckle decides if it's thin or not. You know what I'm saying?
Like it decides the width of how big you're cutting?
Yeah. And also the idea is that sharper the knife, better it gets, because it doesn't slide all of the sudden, and then you don't cut yourself. Most of the cuts people get because their knives are not sharp enough, or when they're sharp,
too sharp.
or they're too sharp, but they don't know what to do with them. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like they're doing their own way. So yeah, if they're sharp, then it's better because you don't slide on a vegetable, or like, you know, on tomato. Yeah, I know, exactly. It's crazy. So anyway, so this is also diced, right? So here we go.
Yeah, as small as possible. When you're making this salsa, I don't blend it or anything like that, so you want to make everything as tiny as possible. It's really a pico de gallo, not a salsa, because it's not blended, but you can get, I don't know, I just feel like with most recipes, smaller chopping is better.
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna help him out, then you continue.
Okay, I continue.
Come in.
You pressed it. Okay, so we're gonna put the onion in there. You can't press it. I roughly chopped the cilantro before, but I'm gonna chop it again. I can't do that technique. I'm gonna be completely honest. I really suck at it. I always feel like I'm gonna cut my knuckles off. So this is my, you know, amateur technique. Using the both hands, just chopping it. This works really well for me because this is the way that I chop. So especially with the cilantro, you want it as small as possible. Okay, so that's good. I'm gonna pour it into the bowl. And if you don't like cilantro, there's really, I find like two people. The people that love cilantro or the people that hate cilantro. So if you don't want to put a full half cup in there, don't do it. You can just put a little bit for flavoring, or you can omit it, but come on, cilantro is so good.
Yeah, and also your taste is changing, because I used to hate cilantro. Any smell of it was really nasty to me. I was like, oh, no, I don't like it. But then more I became plant-based, then I start to like...
Yeah, your taste really did change.
Taste changed, then I just start liking cilantro actually.
And
a lot of
cilantro,
different
sorry.
vegetables. Yeah, it's okay.
Cilantro is really great for heavy metal detox. So it's something that you can juice. It's something that you should eat in your big salads that you have every day. Yeah, go ahead and chop that tomato. So this tomato is fairly ripe, so I would say cutting it is also a little bit harder. But again, he's using that same technique, and I just want them as small as possible.
And also, I'll show
really
you some yeah, it's okay. And also, I'll show you something else. The easiest way to truly, and a lot of chefs will be like, oh, you shouldn't do it. The easiest way to slice the tomato is using the serrated knives. I know it sounds weird, but I'll show you.
Yeah, it does, especially if the tomato is like super ripe.
Because the serrated knives has so many blades, and it's just so much easier. It's much easier, at least to me, and it's more precise. If you have very sharp knife like this one is,
it'll be fine.
It will be fine, but I'm just gonna show you for the sake of, you know, thing. And I understand it's a profanity for some, but you know what? I don't really care. There we go.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, this is like.
Then if you do with serrated knife, then you could probably chop that other part smaller, right?
Yeah.
Like the parts that you...
Yeah, but like I'm saying, I'm showing like both ways, so you can do this way, you can do using your knuckles as a guide, and we still should sharpen this knife. We actually forgot about it.
Yeah, we were just talking about yesterday, we need to sharpen the knives. Yeah. It's like we have so much time on our hands now, which is actually awesome, like with this quarantine or self-isolation. I feel like it's been so great, because like the things that I wanted to do for a really long time and just never had time, I can do them now.
More?
Yeah, if you can chop it more. So one of those things is sharpening my knives.
Yeah, but it's so cool. I mean, I don't know how you guys are feeling about like staying in home now and stuff like this, but I'm like truly enjoying it. I'm enjoying my time with my family. That, you know, yeah, I would like to work and stuff, which I do online some hours now, but being with my family more often, it's like a nice,
it's been really awesome.
nice vacation.
And I just feel like we're talking to people more than we normally do, like friends and family, just on FaceTime, even though we're not.
Justin said the other day.
Oh, I put this in my video that I am putting out on Friday. I put the same information, but I'll tell you. It's like you have less to talk about, but you talk more often. And so true.
Something, yeah.
Let's do this so that they.
Put it here?
Yeah, put it in there.
Okay, and normally you would take the cutting board and just do it there, but for now we have some stuff here going on. So, oh well.
Okay, so next up, I've already chopped the mango like pretty small. I'm gonna maybe just chop it a little bit more since it's kind of melted. Yeah. Okay.
Wash this knife.
So again, my wonderful chopping technique. Okay, I'm gonna throw that in there, and then we'll chop up the jalapeno. You do that.
Okay.
And you can chop, these don't need to be sliced, they can be like diced as well, so really tiny pieces. And like I said, jalapeno is optional. I love jalapeno, I love spice, so find what works for you.
I mean, there's a lot of amazing ingredients inside of them, and they're also healthy for you. I mean, Michele can tell you more about it than I do.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
already
so
in the
good.
salsa right now, with the tomatoes, you have lots of lycopene, you have a lot of vitamin C, vitamin A. Whenever you're choosing fruits and vegetables to eat, go by color. The brighter color of fruits and vegetables that you eat, the more antioxidant count, the more nutrients and vitamins are in it. So this colorful salsa already is just, it's like 0 calories. Well, not 0 calories, but very low calorie. And can you give me a spoon?
Yes.
And lots of beautiful colors. So the red onion, I would always choose red over white if you have the option, because again, it's a brighter color. Thank you. And the tomatoes and the mango. So all this will just mix together, and then all I'm gonna do is pour that little bit of salt and the lime juice in it, and then just mix it together. It's done, but I wanted to make this first because I feel like the flavors kind of marinate better when you give it a little bit of time to leave.
And I think Michele told you, but this is all in a free book that we have, that she has on the internet.
If you go to veganmichele.com and you subscribe to the website, you'll get this recipe plus
free, yeah.
a lot of other oil-free, healthy recipes. So let's taste this. Amazing.
Yeah,
really,
and what's
good.
also I think cool is that we used to make another salsa, which we still make, but it was a long story. Basically, that salsa came from like it's original from some Spanish people, and they were just like giving to her mom some recipe for this and whatever, and then we started like tweaking around this thing, and then it asked to boil, and I'm like, okay, but Michele was always like very it's like, hey, maybe we shouldn't boil because it's kind of better for vegetables and stuff like this.
Some vegetables,
yeah, for some vegetables. I'm like, okay, cool. So then we start making the raw salsa, and it's so much better. It's so much more tasteful. It's amazing. Okay, should I start this?
Okay, so I'm gonna you chop those, and then I'm gonna start the cashew cheese, which is really like a mozzarella. So we're gonna tag team this. You can chop, and they can see how you chop.
So after practice, you can see how fast this can actually go. Just kidding, yeah? Can you imagine?
Yes,
That would be hilarious.
I can totally imagine.
Hey, master of cutting. Dope!
Just,
That would be hilarious.
no, let's not have that happen.
You can also make like a little base. So for example, this is cut, so this is your surface now, and you can basically and yeah, and there you go.
I actually think that's enough mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so you have the option in these quesadillas, if you want to do slices like this. If you're not like a major mushroom person, then you can actually dice these. So it's 100% up to you.
I'm the person who likes like this.
Yeah.
She's the other way.
Yeah, I'm not a big mushroom person, but I know that mushrooms are really good for you. There's lots of medicinal mushrooms that you can take for immunity boosting, like reishi and chaga. We take mushrooms every single day, and I know that it helps with immunity. So that's something that you can consider, especially during this time. But also if you just have regular white mushrooms, button mushrooms, little bella mushrooms, which these are baby bellas, which are just small portobello mushrooms, and these have a lot of nutrients. But it helps to get more nutrients out of them by cooking them. Okay, go on.
And Michele can tell you more about this, but the best one right now are reishi, chaga, which chaga is interesting because it's only found in Russia and in some parts of Poland. And those mushrooms are amazing for immune system.
Yeah, they really are.
Okay.
So now this is for the inside of the quesadilla. I think I said that about 5 times. We're doing zucchini and
dice
chop.
it, or-
Yeah.
Okay.
And mushroom. But if you don't have zucchini or mushroom, you could do things like red bell pepper. You could do probably even like really thinly sliced cauliflower would work, or broccoli would work. You just got to get creative with whatever vegetables you want to put inside.
Yeah,
Okay.
and write us if you have some questions, guys.
Yeah.
Because we always like write. You know, we always can tell you some things, answer some questions and whatever.
I'm gonna start to make the cashew cheese sauce. So I've just got a high-speed blender here. I'm gonna put 1 1/4 cup water inside. These are soaked and drained organic cashews. I've got 1/2 cup there, so not a ton of fat, which is great. Then I'm using, what am I using here? 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt, 1/4 teaspoon of regular salt. I like the Himalayan salt. 1 1/2 tablespoons nutritional yeast, and then a teaspoon of lemon juice. And then for this ingredient, I'm using arrowroot powder. In my original cookbook, it calls for something else that I can't see. It calls for tapioca flour. So you could use tapioca flour, you could use arrowroot powder, or I've even made this with just regular flour and it works fine. So tapioca flour and arrowroot flour are gluten-free, but if you use the regular flour and that's all you have, you can totally just use that. So
You can also use this cheese for pizza.
yeah, it actually tastes really
It's
great on pizza.
Amazing.
Okay, I'm gonna blend for just a moment.
I wonder how many subscribers she will lose now.
Okay, so now what we need to do is actually cook this, because when you cook it, the flour and the cashews together begin to harden up, and I want to show you that. So I think we should probably move the camera.
Okay, so slightly technical movement
Put your
going on.
seatbelts on, hang
Put your
on, here we
seatbelts
go.
on. There we go. There we go. Yeah, we kind of planned it as best as we can, so you guys can see easy what's going on. There we go.
Okay,
This is our kitchen. Welcome to our house again.
you're
I
in
think
the
you can.
pantry. What are you doing in there?
Yeah, I think you can
I
actually
think
see
it's
it.
a little bit crooked.
There we go.
Okay, cool.
Perfect.
So now I'm just going to take the cashew cheese. I'm going to pour it into a frying pan. I don't have any oil or anything like that. This entire meal is oil-free. Then I'm going to turn the heat on. But the trick to keeping this cheese not burned or like in a giant clump is to make sure that you're constantly stirring it. So I'm just using like a rubber spatula, and it just takes, I don't know, a couple minutes. It's gonna start to clump up if you don't watch it, so just make sure that you're on it. And then I don't know, can you like show a close-up maybe when we get a little bit?
Yeah, it's a tricky little thing, because it's like if you're not gonna do this right on time, then it's just gonna clump a lot. So you can
Yeah,
see
that's
it.
actually good if you can hold it there.
Yeah,
I don't know
sure.
if that's a pain in the butt.
Oh, good.
So, doing this. And like I said, depending on your burner strength and what kind of pot you have or pan, then, you know, maybe 3 to 5 minutes, maybe less. But you can start to see around the edges, it's starting to get a little bit harder, like that, and clump, and that's kind of what you want. I think for the trick to this also is that it continues to harden after you turn it off. So you want to make sure to turn it off before it's completely in a large clump. These pans are green pans, so they are, I think it's like a combo of sur la table and
Did you say pens?
pan, P-A-N.
Green
And
pens.
green pan, which just means they are free of those, I think it's called PHPs, some harmful metals and chemicals that are normally coated on, like, you know, just conventional pans. I've really been loving them. We've had them probably for about 2 years. And they're still in pretty good shape. So you can see it's starting to clump up. I would still stir and give it more time, but you can see I'm stirring constantly here.
Yeah, and how cool is to make your own cheese in the house? I mean,
No,
that's
it's
just
awesome.
crazy.
And it's super simple.
And it's really tastes like, as soon as it's like even cooled down, it actually tastes really great. Like
Yeah,
it's
very cheesy.
Very cheesy. Yeah, I mean, this clumpness is great, but like I'm saying, you can imagine this totally on a pizza and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really, really good.
Okay, so I'm gonna turn the heat off now because I just know this cheese and I know that it will continue to cook and I want it to be a little bit liquidy still.
Feels like as soon as almost the foam is gone, then
Yeah.
you turn it off.
And then you can see if you can scrape the bottom. Obviously, if you left, you would have a mess on your hands. So just really stay with it. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I've got tortillas over here. Again, whatever kind of tortilla that you have. You could do this with corn tortillas, it would be fine. These are flour tortillas. I've done it with sprouted like Ezekiel wraps, and that's a healthier option. So I'm just taking some of the cheese. I'm spreading it. Oh no, I need the mushroom and the zucchini.
Okay, I'm coming. Here we go.
So I'm spreading it like that. So you can make it like as thick or as thin as you want. And then I'm just putting a little bit, I'm just kind of making a little pizza with this.
There we go. Yeah, that looks great.
It smells really good. I'm definitely gonna be eating quesadillas at 10 a.m.
Yeah, right? That's exactly cool. Yeah, but hey, but for some of you it's lunch or even a dinner.
Yeah.
I know there's some people watching from Poland as well, so that's definitely dinner.
So then you just
There
take
you
a
go,
second
perfect.
one. And then here's two options. We have a gas stove, so I'm just gonna throw it directly onto the smallest burner that we have. Other option would be to just have another pan and just warm it, no oil needed, and then just continue to flip it. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna just put it on the small burner. If you have tongs, I would say use that. I am the chef that has no tongs.
You know what I forgot? Set the timer for the surprise.
Oh,
I need to check something.
Close your
real
eyes.
quickly. Close your eyes because you're gonna ruin the surprise for you guys. Hold it.
so I'm just flipping these and warming them from side to side. Obviously, be careful. My hands are like rougher than rough.
That's good. 1 minute,
And-
5 more minutes.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Hey, you want to show yourself? Hi,
Okay.
dude.
And then I'm just gonna get a plate so I can have something to put these on.
Look who's there. Hi, guys. All right.
Okay, so I've like
want some?
browned them just a little bit, I love, on both sides. And then I'm just gonna continue to make this until my cheese sauce is done. I've got my burner on, let's not burn my arm. Let me turn that off. Okay, so again, spread the cheese. And it's nice if you can get the cheese all the way to the edges, because then every bite is cheesy. And then, like I said, if you had red peppers, that would work well with this. Or if you have nothing, it works really well just with the quesadilla or the tortilla and the cheese. Okay, I'm putting this on. And then I couldn't remember exactly how much this yields, but I feel like you could make this with 6 tortillas and be good, because then you would have enough cheese for all 6. Whoa, that one went a little crazy. So I've got this, if you do have a gas stove, I've got this like on a medium to medium low. And then basically it's just like, it's gently cooking the mushrooms and the zucchini and then rewarming the tortilla up.
Oh, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I was
Okay.
watching this channel and the guy said, "Fantastico,
Fantastico.
fantastico."
Okay, so actually I have enough cheese that I feel like I could probably make one more,
Yeah.
but these tortillas are fresh tortillas, and that means I just need to actually cook them beforehand because they're not cooked. So just for the purposes of the video and not cooking 5 million quesadillas, I'm just gonna do this one last one. So
I'll
put-
suggest something. Can I?
Yeah,
Hey, so if you don't have a quesadillas, but you, for example, have, you know, like what's it called, the chips?
like a corn chip?
Like a corn chip, you can just make a beautiful, huge mountain volcanic of the, you know, this cheese, salsa, put some veggies on top of it, and you know, dip it with the.
Like make nachos?
You can make nachos. That's what I was looking for. Right?
3 words to explain
Nachos.
all those.
Oh, so cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I have another cheese that I prefer for nachos. It's
Oh,
like
you
a
do? Oh, yeah,
queso
that's very
cheese,
yellow.
and I feel like it works really well with
That's
nachos. But this, absolutely, if you have no tortillas, you could totally make nachos with this cheese. It's really versatile.
We're really trying to make, you know, make kind of
Give you
everything
options
from nothing.
because,
Yeah.
like, I understand, you know, you don't want to go to the grocery store a million times. Okay, we can go back over here.
Okay, let's do this.
And you don't want to, you know, the grocery stores don't have everything right now either. So, yeah.
That's right.
So let me get another plate going here.
Okay, sorry guys. There we go. Very good.
Oh, another tip I just want to say, if you are by yourself in your quarantining, then you could probably just make that full amount of cheese, but you can save it in the fridge in the step before you cook it, so like when it's still super liquidy, and then you could come back tomorrow or the next day and totally cook it up and make this fresh. I think that that's the best way to do it. You can freeze the cooked cheese or refrigerate the cooked cheese, and that's fine, but it's a little bit clumpy. So if you're gonna refrigerate it, I would suggest doing it before you get it to the stovetop. So then you just slice it into quesadillas. I'm gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 little quesadilla slices here. And then this could be it, right? I'm gonna just flip it over here and actually got the 8th one. Oh my goodness.
There you go.
And then, okay, so I'm gonna just flip it on the side, and then we're gonna make it look pretty. If you have any mixed greens, you could have that with this. And we've got some avocado here, so I took the cutting board away. But you really don't need a lot of avocado. But just for that extra little taste, if you have a vegan sour cream, you could do that. You could put, I don't know, really the options are totally
You can put
up
some
to you.
spices on top
Yeah.
of it also, or like I know that people are really loving sriracha and stuff. I think this would work great too.
I don't think sriracha would taste good with this personally, because it's very
Never mind.
Asian-y. But you like sriracha on everything, so to each their
Yeah,
own.
I'm like one of those people who like ketchup on everything and sriracha and everything.
Okay, so that's that. And then you just top it with a little bit of mango salsa. And there you go. And then you can dip the quesadilla. Do you want to taste it?
Sure.
Here, well, let me just show you first what that looks like.
Yeah,
Can
that
you
looks
see?
beautiful. It just
Looks
is
really pretty. It's like, it's comfort food and it's a quesadilla, but it's like also
Yummy.
the healthiest version that you could do. My head's cut off.
Okay. And also, you know, like you can actually have that cheese. Look how melty this is.
Yeah, it's
We just gonna
super,
pull it and look at that. Look how beautiful.
super melty.
Look at that. Yeah.
Melty cheese.
Ta-da! Oh, thank
Taste
you.
it?
Very good. Cheers. And some salsa with it.
So good. I'm gonna take some from here. Really good.
Cricket.
Looks good. It's so good. It totally is. Okay, so
Delicious.
that's that. That's a really good and healthy meal. Like I said, if you weren't here in the beginning, the quesadilla recipe is in this book. The mango pico de gallo recipe is in my free ebook.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet.
Oh, so just head over to veganmichele.com if you want to check out the book or get the free ebook. And then what we're gonna do next time, Chris is gonna show you
I'll show
real
you.
quick.
But I want to say one more thing. Kids loves this.
Oh yeah, totally.
This is a kid's meal. This is like, this quesadilla is like, Eli is obsessed with this. I mean, not now because he just ate, but he really loves this. So
Well, it's a great way to just shove in some vegetables.
nice snack. and stuff.
Another thing you could do if your kid doesn't want to eat like vegetables, which we're definitely going through that right now,
Yeah.
in the cashew sauce, you could just throw in a handful of kale, or you could throw in a handful of spinach, then blend it up, then cook it. They're getting some greens in there as well. Okay, go on.
The same thing we do this with the smoothies. I mean,
Yeah,
we show
totally.
most of the time. Okay, so the next thing what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna show you in a second. It's not ready yet because our oven kind of, I don't know, it turned off by itself by accident. So we were
Sometimes it
15 minutes late, but I'll show you like 75% ready.
So we're gonna show you how to make this on Monday. Monday, I'm gonna do another live at this time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So if you guys are tuned in, you can do it.
Those gloves are terrible, so I cannot keep it for long. But look at that. That's a homemade beautiful bread, and it's the easiest thing in the world. And of course, I'm gonna still keep this in the oven because I wanted to make it crustier. Whoa, hot. So
Yeah, and I'm gonna do some kind of spread with that bread as well. I don't really know yet, but what it will be. But it does look yummy. Thank you guys for commenting, and thank you for watching. And make it for lunch, make it for dinner, and we will see you next time.
we love you guys.
Love
Hey,
you.
stay safe, be blessed, and yeah, and stay healthy, and cook a lot of food. And
Yeah.
no, I'm just kidding.
And have
Okay.
fun. But now it's gonna be that awkward moment when we have to walk to the phone to turn this off.
Yeah, I know. So maybe let's do it together. I'm gonna do this and I cannot because there's a wire there.
Okay, you guys, have a good day.
Bye.